Okay, so Brian, thanks very much for joining us today for a little chat. Would you be able to introduce yourself and give us a bit of your background with regards to Sutton Housing Partnership?
Yeah, definitely. My name's Brian Burton. I am the Head of Delivery for Sutton Housing Partnership. I've been here now for about 6 months. Prior to that, I was a contractor for 5 years, and prior to that, client for the past 16 years. Within Sutton Housing Partnership, under my remit comes asset management, programme delivery, gas servicing, repairs, voids, and basically the delivery of any maintenance to any of our properties within the remit of Sutton Housing Partnership.
Excellent. So why are you using VWNetwork?
One of the things we're looking to do is to reduce our reliance on the consultants. At present, we have consultants who carry out the role of providing certification, verification of works. We've just gone through a property services reorganisation, and within that we're taking lots of what would previously been with the contractor in-house. What we want is an open and transparent medium of being able to track not only financial but activity on what's going out on the programme. One of the things we've realised is that by using VWNetwork, not only can we see what is happening on the ground, but the contractor is inputting on a daily basis, weekly basis and monthly basis. So when it comes to the position where we're actually agreeing what payment we need to be made, any of the discussions, arguments have been made before we actually do certification. On the basis of that, it then means that we can actually agree in a far timelier fashion and press a button to actually generate an invoice that's already been agreed with the contractor, which then means we have a far quicker turnaround with regards to how quickly we can invoice and how quickly we can pay the contractor.
Excellent. So you've got a bit of background on the contractor side, haven't you? So
yeah.
you can see this from both sides.
Yeah, one of the things that struck me is that if I were a contractor, one of the things I'd want to be able to do is remove the challenge of having to constantly argue about did we do this, did we do that, which is generally done in a month after the work's been completed. On the basis that I'm being able to find out the activity and the financial impact on a weekly basis, what it gives us the ability is to go in a far timelier fashion, have people go out, inspect the work, sign the work off almost a week in arrears. So on the monthly basis, we've done all the hard work. For the contractor, it means that they can get paid far quicker. It also means that what the benefit for them is that they see any variance being dealt with in a far timelier fashion, but also anything that's in dispute we can deal with there and then. It just means that we get a far quicker timeline. For a contractor, it means they get paid quicker, and cash is king.
Yeah, cash flow is king. So I guess, will a happier contractor mean a better outcome for your tenants?
Potentially. Well, I'm not going to say this is a nirvana or utopian way of working, but actually, if you get to the basis where you've paid the contractor for the work they've done in a far timelier fashion, and you remove or reduce the challenges along the way, what ends up happening is people are far happier to go out and do work. If the relationship is impacted upon just arguing about money, then delivery of service becomes a byproduct. Whereas really what you want is delivery of service and then you pay people for what they do.
Yeah.
It's a win-win always.
And I guess the contractors are probably in the properties more than yourselves are, but most of the time, aren't they? Because you're getting your work done. So
no, the contractor is our ambassador.
Yeah.
They'll have more contact with our customers than SHP ever will, because they're the ones that are in there for a prolonged period of time delivering the work.
Mm-hmm.
If that's where you're putting your onus on, i.e. delivery, then hopefully your customer satisfaction increases and everyone wins because someone's getting paid for the work they've done and you've got a happy customer at the end of it.
Excellent. So you may have touched on some of these points already, but what do you see as the main problems for the contractor with a social housing landlord?
I think there's a few things. One is that a social housing provider will always look at it from a different point of view from a contractor. The contractor's driver is money, whichever way we cut it. The driver for the social landlord should be that the customer is happy and you're getting value for money. Using this system, you can see transparency between what you're getting charged, what work's been done, that it's done in a timely fashion. But equally important, and one of the benefits of Value Works for us, is that we can compare what other people within the club are paying. That's not to say that there won't be some regional differences and that we'll have to make some variances for that. But actually, if you know that everybody pays £200 for X widget and we're paying £250, there's either got to be a good reason for it or we're getting charged inappropriately. So that's the kind of thing that we need to look at. But it just means you have a balancing act. But it also means that when you're pricing work, because your catalogue is going onto the system, you can price your catalogue and compare it before you've even done any work. Because you've got a catalogue and because you've asked people to price doesn't mean you're committed to cost. So it gives you almost a second bite to go back and say, these prices seem at odds with the marketplace. Why?
Okay. So yeah, the real power in the data, I suppose.
Indeed.
You've already touched on this, with how Value Works can help with that, essentially. And I guess the question is how does it make it easier with an independent network holding the data?
I think one of the things is that where people hold the data themselves, there is always the ability for people either not to trust the data because they think that someone's influenced it in one way or t'other, or they've used their own slant on what the data's actually saying. Where it's in an open forum and the data's put in there from the contractor, it gives you the ability to judge it cleanly without interference. I suppose the other thing is that it gives you the ability to benchmark without actually having to contact loads of other clients. It gives you the ability to see it clean. I think one of the best parts for me is that what we're dealing with at present is that we've got consultants carrying out the verification of works and actually recording the data. What this gives us is the ability to have transparency on what activity is going on. So rather than us ringing ex-consultant and asking them, how many doors have you done, how many roofs have you done, at any given stage we can track activity and therefore how much that's going to cost along the way. When we've spoken to the contractor sees that benefit as well, because it's clean. At every point you're all working on the same basis of what's activity. So financially it helps us, monitoring the programme it helps us. It helps us that we can benchmark against others that are doing similar types of work. So it's just a win-win for everyone really. And the contractor likes it because ultimately they get paid quicker with less hassle. That's the name of the game.
I think the transparency helps everyone, and the contractor in this case is providing the data, so there shouldn't really be any question with.
And I suppose the benefit as well is that they're providing the data, but they're providing it against the catalogue. So any discrepancy flags automatically, rather than it being hidden in a valuation of 300 grand, you'll know automatically that actually the charges for a unit price on a kitchen, there's a variance. Why? It just makes it very, very transparent and very easy for anyone to follow. And I like easy.
Okay. Well, that's all the questions we have for today, Brian. Thanks very much for your time.
You're welcome.